is going to be overpassed. That map pick of NRG, certainly one that MiBR have been struggling with, but we're going into the pistol round here with his NRG side over on the terrorist half. Not favoured on the Betway odds, but let's see what they can bring to the table. Well, early long rush for MiBR. They're going to be pulling in a lot of aggression. Fur, he's going to get spotted by the jump, and a dangerous position for Fur to commit to, but he does still have the range that Breezy does possess on that clock. These fights are going to get a bit awkward for NRG, so they duck and dive out of there. They won't commit to it. They at least show some presence and will fall down with that bomb towards the B site. And in fact, the rotation from MiBR is not going to be well timed. Fallen leaves B because they spotted those A players early on, and now it is only going to be a double setup. But with coldzera playing aggressive, spotting that short, keeping an eye on the connector, he's going to be able to call for rotations once this push comes through, especially with this flank coming through over on A. Look at Tarek and Fur.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a real problem for NRG. They've got no idea that all this information has been gained. They're setting up down towards this B bomb site, but they might be in for a world of hurt. 3 players here for MiBR right now, and Tarek and Fur still just creepy crawling on forward out through mid. And now into the back line of NRG. They've got no clue. Stewie, the first point of contact inside of this B bomb site, but it's fallen to find the first man. They just got to buy a bit of time for this flank to come in, and it is going to be hot on the heels of NRG. They will hear these footsteps. The bomb goes down, but Fur, they want to pick up Ethan once he's done punching in those numbers. Breezy, Daps, and Cirque desperate to try and set up some form of crossfire, try and find something, but instead they give it all away, and now it's Daps, the gentle giant over on short, has to try and be not so gentle as he starts to peek on in, finds the first man, but not the second. coldzera going to shut him down, and that will be MiBR picking up the pistol here on overpass.
Yeah, huge commitment to the flank there from MiBR, spotting you know, the likes of Breezy falling back after his initial duel, and then they just assume that, okay, they're rotating down towards B, we'll move Fallen back off of that A bomb site. Even though Cirque is aggressive up on A short, there were enough MiBR players down on B to deal with the threat at hand, and great shots hit as well. Ethan not getting a chance to really play in that round, decapitated once planting the bomb. And if we think back to that previous day, Harry, when we saw NRG face up against North, Ethan had an unbelievable series, an unbelievable map on train. So definitely going to be hoping that he steps up coming into this game. They're going to need it if they want to take down the giants of MiBR. 4 SMGs in the second round, and already NRG going to be pulling in the solo AK on Breezy to try and find some opening frags down towards his B site.
Well, flash rain's on in. Stewie. Ooh. Only going to manage himself one before Ethan's in a good position to trade things out, and now starting to creep on in. That will be Fur on this rotation down to that B bomb site. NRG, they've decided they're not interested. They might have found a man. Now they're going to go back away. Here towards mid, and this one rifle on Ethan, they're gonna have to do a lot of work in this round. Won't be him leading the charge, instead trying to play the trade after the first man goes out in mid in that form of Fugly.
Fallen looks very smiley in his photo. Fugly not so much.
Well, let's see. Is there a reason to be smiley? Is there a reason Fallen's got such a big grin on his face? Maybe it's because he's about to make a lot of money as players come his way, but no, he's fallen back into the bomb site. 20 seconds, and NRG now pushing in. Still not giving anything up. No one from MiBR has seen anything, and now just Fallen here. Desperately really has to try and deny this bomb plant. And it's going to go above and beyond. Fallen, he's done it all. Daps, while he is good for 1 kill, as he tries to punch in the numbers, they go pushing into him, and Tarek picks it up. So they hold on. And Fallen, yeah, there's a reason for that big old grin. He just made a cheeky $1,800 there inside of that bomb site and denied that bomb going down.
Well, you want to know who didn't make money? Daps, he's going to be down on 2,700. That is not the best of situations there. Dying after the time, it seems. So MiBR clean up round coming through again. That was only an eco for NRG, which you do have to remember. But for now, it is just going to be rifles for MiBR. They've up
Tarek. That's going to be a tricky beast to contend with. Tarek can just go unnoticed. Meanwhile, Cole gets the attention. They spot both players, but Cole Terra's going to make quick work of Fugly and Cirque. So even though Tarek is going to get lost in the fight, the rest of the guys get discovered on the side of NRG and dealt with very, very promptly. Cole leading into this round with 2, and now just Daps and Ethan left standing for NRG. They're going to see what they're made of inside of this A bomb side. Fallen, well, he's made him tough stuff. Fur's there to help him out. For NRG, it's rough stuff. MiBR going to be moving up 3-0 here, and now there's no money left for NRG to buy up into this following round. So things go from bad to worse for the NRG roster. That was a really nice setup from MiBR, but you could see the key was NRG was somewhat expectant of aggression. They even, played that flashbang that blinded Cold Zero initially, which almost allowed Cirque to actually kill the likes of Tarek there in the corner. So NRG, they seemingly expected the aggression from MiBR, but when it actually came to dealing with it, that was a whole different situation for them. Down to pistols now as we see that 3-0 come through. Fallen's already started things off fantastically, taking that mid pick already. Fugly's dead. Tarek's pushed up on long. It's like the pistol round all over again. But this time NRG have lost 2 men as a result. Stewie wallbanging as he hears the door get opened. And now we're going to have NRG desperately hitting this B bomb site, but no nades, only CZs, and MiBR, while they're giving away the bomb site, they might be able to catch that bomb crossing and stop it from going down. That's a no. It's actually made its way up there. Cirque going to try and get it onto the site, but Fallen's got such a vision over it. I don't think a plant's going to be allowed here. No, definitely not. MiBR fighting a 4th round, making things like pretty comfortable, and that's something I've been really enjoying keeping up with this MiBR roster. Is when they originally bring in Stu, they originally bring in Tarek. It wasn't the strongest of starts. They really did fall off initially. Then you had Yanko in as a coach shortly after that. And this team is a team that has been building things up and has been making progress. Now they finished the actual season of Pro League up in first place. They had a great time of things there. They looked great in the online portion. Now they're looking to show that they can bring that same ferociousness, that same drive, that same hunger that they once had onto LAN as well. And that's one thing that you kind of do have to set this MiBR roster is, there's a bunch of players that are still hungry, especially you have Fallen bringing it up. He's a very passionate guy, very involved in this scene. Tarek, good for one. Breezy's going to go to trade things out almost straight away. But look at Fergo. He's sneaky beaky like out in towards mid. Hasn't spotted anyone holding close, but Cirque. That's, you don't get many chances of that one. Yeah. He's not going to be too keen to go walking back into that anytime soon.
That's very close. One more step and Cirque gets you there. But he at least gets the info, right? He knows that MiBR are somewhat aware of the setup, and that might lead NRG to potentially duck this bomb back down towards the lower bomb site. And yeah, in fact, that will be what they do. They fall off of long, and MiBR re-aggress in different positions. Cold Zero peeks out long, and they're just getting confirmation that this is somewhat clear for now. With deep connect to push from Fallen, all the information is in the way of MiBR, and you can see those adjustments of the rotates here from MiBR. Cold falling back off long. Already Fur's gone down towards B to join Stewie. So NRG, they may think, okay, this is looking good for us right now. We've rotated away. They have no idea. Well, in fact, MiBR couldn't be any more clued in if they tried. Stewie even spots some legs down on B, and with 30 seconds, NRG have got to go.
Yeah, they most certainly do. They got to pick up the pace. Fallen's there to shoot them, though, in the face. That's going to complicate matters even further as Fur stoops on in, picks up that 6th round. And, or rather 5th round, maybe get ahead of myself, but there should be a 6th on the horizon for MiBR at the very least. Once again, economic woes going to be plaguing the NRG boys. And, this is NRG's map pick. This is certainly not the start that they would have expected, especially as well. You need to take a look at it. Fallen leading the way, 10-1.
Yeah,
we said 10-0. Maybe it was a bit too much credit. He did die once. He's not immortal just yet. There's his push. It's fast playing towards the B bomb site. Stewie on the barrels, fully flashed. Lots of confusion, and in amongst the confusion, in amongst the chaos, Tarek gonna go ahead and shut down a couple along with Fur. It's actually the first show in that B bomb site.
Yeah, and this is just looking really, really good in terms of a start from MiBR, right? Because NRG has been a map that they've been prolific on as of late. Cirque has been such a good AWPer on it. They've been able to, win events off the back of Overpass and have these top-tier placements as being one of the rising stars over in North America, or at least rising teams. But MiBR right now, they're schooling them. 6-0. We are early days. We're yet to see too many buy rounds from the likes of NRG, so we'll keep that, somewhat in the back of our head. Fallen at 130 ADR 6 rounds in. That's damn good. Fugly yet to grace a scoreboard with a frag, and obviously as a support player, that's hard if your stars can't even get the entries. NRG are struggling to get their foot in the door, but this is another buy round, Harry. The eco is done. We've got Cirque on that AWP and plenty of nades behind it.
And yeah, you kind of look at the situations of both these teams, and in a sense, they're coming from different kind of sides of the coin, but they're both in similar situations, which is that their team's on the rise, right, and trying to build back up. Now, for NRG, it's a bit different. They're a team that's never really been at that top just yet, whereas MiBR is trying to get back to a height that they were once at, right? But they are still teams that kind of stock in them is going up. And, for MiBR to look this strong early on is... great for us as viewers, worrying if you're an NRG fan, perhaps, because, this isn't the start you really would have liked, especially when you think about how Overpass is normally a very good map for NRG, and not as strong map for the Brazilian squad.
Ethan jumped, and he spotted Stewie over on the barrels. I think they're going to try and assemble this boost to get rid of him. Yep, Cirque letting that rifle go up ahead of him, so Ethan could try and get this free pick. Stewie is yet to reposition as well if he can find the angle. Oh, he just falls off. That's unfortunate. NRG, that was essentially a free pick because Stewie had no idea that they jumped it. Question is, will they attempt it again with a drop in the water, making it very clear they're attempting a boost? Now NRG just going to be diving in. 35 seconds. Great Molotov. Stewie's getting countered round after round. He cannot stand anywhere that's not on fire, but he has to be as hot as spicy as NRG's utility usage is as well. Already on short with one. Cold Zero is taking the first man as Stewie looks the wrong way, so that gives Breezy an opening, and you can't afford to do that, but he's only good for one. Daps left alone and simply going to be overwhelmed. Third with a double kill on B once again. And first having a great start to this map alongside Fallen, it's the Brazilian brothers leading the scoreboard here for MiBR.
Yeah, most definitely. And, I'm really loving that Fallen's having such a strong performance early on. And then, you think about the map, you think about Overpass, you think about how AWP-centric this map can be. And then you look across the pond, right? You look over at Cirque, who's currently sitting 1-1-7. Hasn't exactly got to have the AWP all too much. Hasn't really had anything to step up and challenge the likes of Fallen. Then you look over at MiBR, they've had this double AWP set up whenever they've wanted it. This round, Fallen doesn't even have the AWP. He's gone ahead and picked up that AWP. You imagine that was based off of spawn, perhaps? Because Stewie does try and get the peek down in mid, but there's Tarek in with that AWP. Gonna go ahead and swoop in with a second. Oh, Tarek, 3. Not content with just the one kill he grabbed it long. He's gonna go ahead and bail out Fur. Now Stewie.
Oh my God.
Mac Daddy Fugly arriving on the scene. Cirque's there with another, and now things get dire for MiBR.
But
this was looking like such a strong round, but yeah, you're bang on, Hugo. That bomb, they've got to go back and get it. NRG, they've arrived at the party, but they haven't bought presents, and now they have to go ahead and pick that up. They try and turn back to go ahead and grab this bomb. Fur's already holding down the angle, and Cirque walks on into it. It's a Fugly, a 1v2. A 1v2 that never should have been. But still, I mean, there's no prizes for almost.
Yeah. I don't know, I got a participation medal.
Yeah, we don't give those ones out here though, Hugo. Fugly.
The issue is they're on the angle. Tarek scoped in with the AWP. He's already on 3 right now. This is going to be such a favorable position for Tarek. He has all the info. He knows where Fugly's coming from, and he doesn't know what angle to pick. Tarek closing it out with 4, and this is the guy that really carried MiBR through yesterday. If you think back to, their opening day of games, we saw him have a great performance up against Sharks. Obviously, when I say carried, that was a 16-2, so it's not like he was needed to carry, but he was very good then, 25-5. And 140 ADR over that 18-round game. Not the longest of games, but Sharks did the same by managing to take down North earlier on in that elimination best of 3 that we just covered, Harry. And right now, you know, MiBR, this may be an upper bracket game, so it's no elimination on the line, but they are schooling NRG 8-0.
And I'm wondering if, you know, that there's been some real change in the, you know, in the last few, it feels like even days, because suddenly we're seeing this org so much more, right? And I think it was Lees the other day went on some rant about why he uses the org at SG. Maybe that convinced people to give it a try.
That was yesterday, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we've seen some pros started to adopt it. I think it is very map dependent as well. Like Overpass, I mean, this is a scope map. This is a great map for it. So it's not a huge surprise, but yeah, it is definitely getting more and more prolific. So it's Fallen, another opening kill from him. 11-2. He can hear the footsteps. He already knows where they are. Almost finding the second shot, but NRG need to be very, very careful here.
Oh yeah, they most certainly do. Fallen is not the sort of man you want to try and play around with over towards these bathrooms. He's very, very comfortable here with the AWP. Now to turn his attention over towards Long. First swoops in to try and bail him out and holds close. Tarek here as well, and that's going to be largely on the back of Stewie's position down at Connector. He's getting so much information on the back of this. Information is key. Fur's going to get tagged up, but not quite polished off. Now Stewie will be arriving on that late flank from behind. He's going to go picking up the remaining 2 players. MiBR 9-0 here. This is an absolute tear from this Brazilian, well, Brazilian/American squad. And I tell you what, the thing is, this to me is the MiBR that we need to see if we want to see them kind of reach that top. You want to see the team that can challenge Astralis. I think personally it could lie within this MiBR roster if they can. You know, they've been fixing their errors, they've been grinding, they've been, you know, putting in the hours, putting in the work, and it's showing here because this is a phenomenal start on a map that usually, you know, they haven't looked all too comfortable on.
Yeah, especially when you have, you know, some of the best individual players from their ex-teams, right? Of course, Cold and Fallen, just unbelievable. You know, I mean, everyone in the server is a major winner for MiBR, and you could make a case for these being the 5 best players over both Cloud9 and old SK. There'd definitely be a good argument there. Obviously, you got to remember Automatic and Skidoo at his peak is certainly a scary concept, but no longer playing pro. And maybe missing out because this is a 9-0 over NRG. We've got a creep into B from Daps, and Stewie, he's going to be somewhat aware of it. He's keeping his eyes trained down towards lower. And already a bit of a whiff spray. Can he convert it? No, that's awkward. Pistols out. Breezy's found himself too, and an AK. This could go all very wrong. And Breezy's making it right for NRG. Triple entry from the man himself, and the bomb site under the control of the T's.
But it's Fur and Fallen left up, and these two, they've been the top performers. They've been the heavyweights for MiBR. Fallen sticking around, seeing if he can discover anything, but yeah, it looks like he's already made his mind up. They're going to go to play conservatively and opt to back away. NRG on the back of heroics from Breezy, going to be finding their first round here at round number 10. The 9 double digits to where MiBR thus far. And potentially keeping 5 players alive at that. So Breezy able to make it look a little too easy almost in that round. And that's what we need to see. We need to see some of these big stars, you know, some of the real individual plays from these guys now start to materialize. And if Breezy can start to find his footing, hopefully the rest of the guys can follow. You know, you start to get some money here, keeping 5 players alive. Cert can try and bring that AWP out. You're going to have the AWPing presence to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Fallen, with the likes of Cold, depending on how they decide to divvy it up.
The issue is, Harry, you got to remember about that reset. No, with Nico win, NRG are going to have the money, but MiBR can still close out this half nice and dominantly. 14-1 is always on the cards here. Double AUG, single AWP. You can only have so many scopes, Harry. So MiBR remain vigilant for now. We do have that potential boost up on B again. Ethan looks keen to do it. Give it another try, but Stewie's this time in the pit, and that's going to make things hard to find. Oh, No! Big mistake. Jump from Ethan being made. And last time he fell in the water and now he's jumping. I mean, they just can't get it off without making audio cues. That's something NRG definitely need to do a bit of practice on. Because right now, MiBR, of all the information in the world, there are at least 2 players outside of that B bomb site. Cirque still holding down on long. Fallen's only spotting for now. He can easily fall off this angle or scope back in when the flash goes high. That's why he isn't scoped. But he's got to be careful about close up.
He's fallen off the angle, but there's a breeze rolling in behind him, and he does get spotted, but he's able to duck away. Keep himself alive right now. Ooh, fallen. That's a little bit ballsy because he could have just opted to drop the smoke at long and played it safe. Instead, jumps across, saves his smoke here for the short position, and that's going to allow Fur to pick up this frag onto Fugly, and that slowed down this momentum that NRG was starting to build up over towards this A bomb site. So fallen, it's a bit of a risk jumping across, but it does bail out his teammate. It does net that equalizer, and now we're back into this 4-on-4. 13 seconds left. This bomb is so far away. I'm not even sure it gets there in time.
No,
yeah, it's got to go. No, it can get there. It can get there. It's got to go.
No, it's done.
No, yeah, it's all over. They have to get the kills, and it's not happening. MiBR, they win the round just by staying alive.
Oh, that is a monumental blunder from NRG. There's no other way of putting it. That is a massive error. A very, very slow rotate with that bomb on Cirque as well. And I always find that interesting why NRG leaves Cirque to play that bomb when he's so consistently just set up away from his team, looking for AWP picks, down on A-long there. And yeah, that's definitely going to come back to haunt them. We saw that a little bit in the train game up against North.
You take a look at that round there, and the original strategy was to hit that A bomb set, right? You were having a bit of presence out towards B, draw off the rotations, but then it's Fur finding the frag on the man that tries to push through that smoke at short, and that's where they have to make that split-second decision. Like, we can only go B, because that's where the majority of their players were from that point onwards. So either you solo push Cirque into the A bomb site, or you have to try and switch it up, and ultimately they ran out of time. You didn't want to risk rotating as well back through down connector with the bomb after Fur had pushed up and secured control of the toilet. So they try to do the best with the hand they've been dealt, but when you've been given Monopoly cards and everyone else is the real thing, you're pretty screwed there. Man advantage gained early on for MiBR. NRG turning their attention around toward this A bomb site, but Fallen, that's where he resides. This is his territory. And he's already spotted the first man from the toilets.
Yeah, now we've got this bait set up on long. This is so classic from MiBR. They love pulling this in. Fur, not even going to be needed. Fallen gets a shot off. Now Cirque knows Fur is close because he fired a couple of bullets. So the Molotov's down. Cirque attempts to respond. Stewie caught on that rotate down up from the connector, and Fur is just trying to force out a shot from Cirque. The nade's going in. The dodge. And Cirque, he's going to try and jump above, try and take Fur down from the top of the flower bed. The flash is there, but so is a shot. Blinded up, so gets the kill. And now we're in a 2-on-3. Still doable here for NRG, considering this bomb's down on the correct site, but they haven't got a lot of time. They've got to go straight in. Daps cannot afford to wait for Cirque, and they need to take down Tarek first. He's on the angle. Daps not going to be ready for a whiff spray. Cirque moves in. He gets a crucial frag. And just like that, this round is doable.
Oh, it almost certainly is. Falling, going to start to creep forward, but Cirque, he's been spotting Daps while he does get the bomb down. 2 HP at a dream, has to try and overcome Fallen. And things go from bad to worse now as Cold Terror swoops in. Daps running low on ammo, just going to get felt out, dropped by Fallen. Defuses there, and MiBR an 11th round to their name. And I mean, this is scary. I mean, Fallen, it's been a while since we've seen him look this strong.
Yeah, he's just hitting everything. I mean, like, it looks so easy for MiBR right now. He has no fear in just taking that pistol fight, knowing that Tarek did the damage, and just pre-firing, spamming away with that P250. NRG, second timeout being used, and they have got to have some real big words here, Harry. Some serious letters coming through if they want to discuss how to fix the problems right now, because it's 11-1. A huge comeback going to be required from NRG in this map, and remember, this is their map pick.
But here's been the biggest problem, right? They just haven't figured out a way to nullify Fallen on the AWP, but especially this duo that's kind of forged between Fallen and Fur over in that A-bomb site. It's been such a tag team. You look at B, even when NRG do manage to get out, even when they do finally pierce that defense, the retake power of Fur and Fallen has just been so incredibly strong.
And the information game on top of that, every time we've seen NRG take B, it's always had a caveat. There's always been an MiBR player on the flank or pushed up on A with information, and therefore a triple B setup in a round that typically didn't have it. I mean, MiBR have always had the info on where NRG are going. They've rarely been surprised at these early T pushes.
Look, even this round now, Fallen takes that early peek into mid. Fur alongside him, brothers in arms, pushes down into the connector. And he spotted out these players pushing down towards short. They get so much information on the back of this. That's exactly as he was saying. That's the caveat. There's 3 players now inside of this B-bomb site for MiBR. Tarek lies close. This time they've lost Stewie. Tarek's able to trade, at least initially, but he's actually going to fall as well. So Cold here with this AWP, and a double AWP in the retake certainly doesn't feel ideal, but MiBR, Men of Steel, Fallen going to get dealt with, and Fur does what he can to get them back into this one. 2v2. Cold in graffiti. Cirque does delete his teammate, and now we got to see Cold's error, but no. Cirque finds it all. 3 frags for him there, the hat trick, and NRG going to be moving on to the second round. I do think, that was the right call to make you try for a fast B play. That is where you've had the most success. And this time around, the play from Fallen and Fur aggressively into mid doesn't really lead to anything, because no one went through that short position into the angles they were holding down.
And these are the kind of rounds where Cirque can step up in those post plants, in those positions where he's essentially defending the bomb site, but is able to just constantly reposition and just hit those really fast shots that Cirque's known for. Great reactions, nice accurate flicks, a very solid AWPer for this NRG roster, and he's showing it here. Maybe not able to find those opening kills that NRG are needing right now, but if he can start to warm up into this game and get those defending frags, this could still work out, especially with Fugly actually finding the first kill of the round, getting rid of the man himself, Harry Fallen. It's Fur left up, but he cannot defend the connector, and NRG, they are on a train down towards this B site. It's going to be blindingly clear there, honking their horns, but there's no one that can stop them. Stewie's going to get decapitated, and just like that, it's 2 men left up for MiBR, looking like a flawless round for NRG. Where has this come from?
Yeah, I mean, it's only Tarek left standing in a 1v at 5, and Ethan just dispatches of it, makes it look clinical. So NRG a potential at 4-11.5, and from there they can try and grind their way back into this. And yeah, I mean, the case of it there is so much of these rounds, so much of this success they've been having is kind of based around the early success of the likes of Fallen and Fur, or Cold in some of the rounds. I think he played up towards A. Every now and again with Fallen, there was a round that I remember where he pushed into the connector, but that was more like a one-off. The standard default was having Fallen and Fur there, and they were very much the foundation, right? So you lose Fallen early on, Fur's kind of the yin to his yang down in the connector. You kind of one without the other, so Fur gets dropped as well. He has a lot of angles to keep an eye on, didn't have a safe route out of the connector position. And from that point onwards, you've only got 3 players left, and they're all kind of sporadically spread out across the map.
That's been kind of the case of these last couple of rounds. Maybe MiBR getting a little bit too confident. Again, not a huge worry considering the max that can happen is an 11-4 half, and that's still really, really good. But finally, the boost actually being successful and tapping into the back of his, back. Is Ethan getting the frag? Tarek does defend down on B. He's been so good with his AWP. Can he find any more? Yes, it's a second before the trade is there with the AWP. Cirque finding the wallbang after all, but it's still going to be a man up for NRG. This will allow the bomb plant. Stewie tries to deny it, or at least do damage with his nades, but Breezy's on the flank. Stewie aware of the position, and just like that, this is still doable for Stewie. He's grabbed an AK-47, but NRG getting that bomb down.
Here he is, Stewie. Trying to do what he can. Oh, he's found the first man. Now just Ethan left to go toe-to-toe with. Ethan gonna hold down the angle at NRG. 4-11. They managed to get the last 3 in a row. They managed to, somewhat recover this half. And now we just need to see their CT side be just as stalwart.
And it was the end of the half where we see those key fraggers step up here for NRG. Breezy, Ethan, Cirque, all of them having 3K rounds in those last 4. Or last 4-1 for NRG, I guess you could say. Really nice stuff from them. Obviously, MiBR just looking so fantastic in this this opening of this game. Fallen, I mean, this is just a highlight reel of Fallen, pretty much. He's finding kills left, right, center. Fur, as you said, alongside him up on A short was pretty dastardly demon. And MiBR, if you add on a pistol round to this 11-4 half, that's probably a GG for Overpass.
Well, taking a look at the scores on the doors, Hugo, you can see it's actually Tarek as well up there, moving up through this scoreboard, joining the likes of Fur and Fallen at the top. It's Cold and Stewie, kind of trailing behind the rest of the squad. Over on the side of NRG, that's where the real kind of interest is for me. You do have your three-man core of fraggers leading the way. That's what you want, but it's only by a narrow margin. We need to see that start to grow a bit. We need to see the three players that we expect to do the damage within this squad step on up. You're going to be looking at Breezy, Cirque, and Ethan. They're the three that we want to see some magic from. I want to see Cirque get that AWP out as soon as they possibly can over on the CT side. I think that's going to be a real determining factor on if NRG can get back into this game.
But remember, okay, I get it. MiBR have certainly struggled on Overpass. That's a fair point. But you know, when it comes down to Fallen, he is individually one of the best AWPers in the world on this map in history and in what he's shown us.
Definitely.
So, yeah, put him on that T-side AWP. If it's the AWP battle, I'm banking on Fallen here. He's just so good at Overpass. So, I'm really excited. I hope we can get that battle going on, and that would require NRG to actually start this half off well, right? If Pistol goes away of MiBR, NRG are going to be stuck in a very awkward economical spot where they're probably buying up so much they can't eventually get that AWP in before MiBR close it out. But it's always doable.
Yeah, and that's always the downside when you're kind of at this scoreline is if you lose the pistol right now, you're never going to have that chance really to have the economy where you can comfortably buy into the orbs. And look, there you go. We can go ahead and take a look at the head-to-heads. Yeah, so we've seen 3 sniper purchases for each of them, and you know, kind of similar scorelines between the two. Fallen is still the man leading the charge right now, but yeah, for Cirque, I do think that's the key. That's how you nullify Fallen is you have an AWP of your own to try and step up and go toe-to-toe with him. Either that, you know, you can try and get creative with the utility and stuff like that. But I'm just curious. You know, I want to see what the game plan is here from this NRG roster and how they approach their CT side. To
contextualize those stats, actually, they're quite interesting to see because while Fallen, 11 AWP kills and 3 AWP purchases, Cirque has less AWP kills over the same amount of purchases. But think about the amount of rounds being won by MiBR. 11-4 half, Fallen with 11 kills, and in 4 rounds being won, Cirque had those 8 frags. So obviously, those are all split across the entire half. But he's clearly finding the, or winning the fights rather, but not always being necessarily winning the round. And either way.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting the frags, but the frags just aren't impactful, right? It's sort of, I mean, and maybe some of it was later on in the game, right? But yeah.
He didn't have the AWP early.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what that's what I think is going to be important here for the NRG squad, as well as that MiBR. Important to note, Fur's having a real good time. Tarek started stepping up as well. Those two are going to be key at finding these openers, finding the entries for the MiBR squad. Interestingly enough, you have Cold sitting bottom of the board. Certainly not a sight that we're all too used to seeing. And that could kind of be either an ace up the sleeve for this MiBR squad, in the sense that Cole maybe could start to find his form as well. And then you've got that 4th man to start stepping up alongside the 3 currently topping the charts. Or, he's just going to continue to kind of reside there bottom of the board.
I would say that, remember, while he's bottom of the board, he's 6-6. He's not exactly been having the most of fights. When he's been in a duel, he's seemingly done well, winning that short fight up on the B site. There's been rounds where Cole's had his impact, but he has the least deaths in the server. He's just not been in those positions, retaking a lot of the time, and his team cleaning up the job. But a bit of a B-stream update for you guys at home. Renegade's big show off, and it is going to be a 11-4 half for Renegades in that first one. That is going to be their map pick over on Cash, but still, Cash versus Germans. I mean, that's a surprising scoreline already. So Renegades, who definitely struggled coming into this event, have looked very good so far.
Yeah, I mean, you say the Cash versus. I didn't really think Big played Cash
I know,
ever,
but
so
more of a German joke.
Yeah. So, I think that's going as you might expect right now. That's going to be an interesting series to see how that one pans out. We'll try and keep you guys updated with that. But now focusing on the game at hand, MiBR versus NRG, the second half about to be underway. And Daps, you see over on the CT side, he's the man grabbing the smoke, the utility. MiBR, though, more interestingly, Fallen and Tarek both going to be picking up smoke You have the Molotov rather over on Fallen. Flashbangs for Tarek. And for me, it does suggest that this could be the B play. You've got to smoke for Heaven. You've got to smoke for Graffiti. You could try and play that Molotov perhaps to deny the man down in Connector. Other way you can play it is you Molotov the barrels. You smoke in Connector to get across. Early on, Fallen goes peeking on out in towards mid and hasn't spotted anyone. He tries to do that just to see if NRG have gone for that mid aggression perhaps. It's not too uncommon to see a man peek mid just to try and get the info if any players are crossing early. Now NRG haven't done that, which has allowed Fallen to take this portion of the map for free.
And right now it's looking like MiBR might even throw smokes or try and some kind of fake onto this A site. They've got one man still holding down B if they want to retreat eventually, or the flip side is they take A and Cold takes down those late rotators up through the connector. Very common to see flanks on this map by the CT side. And yeah, with the bomb now going up short, 2 players up on long, very much looking like somewhat of a dedicated A play. Cold Zero is even peeling off of that B site. So Daps, he will hit these jumps. He will hear Fallen's nades being set up eventually. And this is going to be a very important fight. Luckily, Cirque is at the back of the bank supporting as well. So Daps already spraying away. They check the corner. Cirque trades 1 for 1. That's worth its weight in gold. And Cirque, he's looking for a little bit more. He's looking for platinum at the back of this site. 2 kills as he buries in the bank, spots a third, and Cirque is just tearing them apart exactly how he would have wanted coming into the second half. The time ticking away, as is the manpower here for MiBR, and Breezy, he wants to finish off the job. 5 rounds for NRG. They are still in this game, Harry.
They most certainly are, and they want us to know it. That is clean and concise from Cirque. And then Breezy swooping in a save today. By the way, the frag that Cirque finds up through long onto Fallen is, as you said, really is worth its weight in gold, because that was the utility drop. Yeah. They never had the chance to line that up. The smokes never come in. All that investment into the utility from MiBR never even materializes in this site take because the players with it die too soon. And so, 5th round locked in for the NRG squad. Fallen's going to be throwing us, buying himself up as scout. I'm going to try and find something with it. Early on out here towards mid. There's a lot of bodies here, though, for NRG. And there's Cirque and Fugly picking up that first man.
Look at Tarek as well. He's actually crept into the B site almost. Breezy is going to be close by, but Tarek is so deep up by the smoke. And yeah, it's been heard. Daps also flanked him, so he will be aware of that one. Bomb may be up towards that A bomb site, but Fallen, he can't help out his teammate. Fugly's already dropped that man. Nice to see NRG focusing on actually, assisting their teammates. If one player getting tagged, a different player peeking out and doing the damage instead, taking the frag. Not letting MiBR get any eco kills there. NRG take it nice and clean. And now with an 11-6 scoreline, they're going to start to build up the CT money. But MiBR, they're right in with that first bite of the half.
Oh, this time, bit of a change of pace from MiBR down here toward this B-bomb. So a couple of players here early on. Are they going to go toe-to-toe with Ethan? Flash rains on in. That's going to get thrown over from Tarek. Trying to help out Cold as best he can. And they have taken control of short water. Now the problem resides here at long, where Breezy just tucked away. Actually, a quick boost assembled down on that B-bomb site. Ethan to pick up the frag on a Cold Zera. Fur's going to be nearby to provide an equalizer, so we're straight back into a 4-on-4. Not a moment where NRG can say that they're really fielding a man advantage in this round. And now Daps and Ethan have to work this one out together. Tarek does delete the point man for NRG at this B-bomb site. And now it does just fall onto Daps.
Cirque's on the flank as well. Look at him go. This is similar to the round that MiBR threw in. The only problem is if Cirque doesn't come back in through short, MiBR might be able to bypass him on that A rotation that seems to be a potential problem with theirs. Zerk's coming in through the connector though. Going to be the right call to make considering the current setup. And MiBR, despite taking A for free, they're not committing to it. They might now, as Fallen's taken down Zerk, and he can make the call that Fur's already up on that A bomb site. NRG getting absolutely fooled by the man in between. And just like that, MiBR, they've got that round under key, lock and key. Bomb going to go down. 2 players left up. They can find exit kills all they want. There's no way they're retaking this. It will be 12-6. So first buy around here going to the Brazilian-American mix.
Yeah, it's definitely the next round's gonna be the interesting scenario for NRG. They will be buying up. They're going to have everything in it, but that's where the money kind of starts to become a bit tight. It starts to become a problem for this NRG squad. And at this juncture in the game, with the MiBR about to be picking up a 12th round, you know, you're going to be having a buy to the next. But if MiBR move into a 13-6 sort of scoreline, you're going to be reset. You're going to be looking down the barrel of, you know, a broken economy. And that's a terrifying spot to be in if you are this NRG squad. They know the pressure that's going to be mounting as we head into this round. Wouldn't surprise me, maybe we even see a pause perhaps called on him, but no, they're not going to go for it. Instead, they just pick up the buy here. AWP was bought by Zerk. He had the money for that. Investment from the rest of the gang.
That was a finishing blow to Cold Zero. They took him down low with a nade in that corner before, but Ethan jumping up and getting the frag. Very cool how production's been on point with catching the kills that are always, you know, all the kills that are missed by the observing like initial frags. That's always nice. MiBR, look at this pacer. Look at this man up on short. We've got very, very deep positioning from Stewie. And serious damage has been taken from NRG. Don't forget that. Ethan's down to just 12. Zerk and Dap's getting tagged up as well. That makes them just a little bit more susceptible to the utility here, like this Molotov. Stewie might be able to finish off this kill, but it's actually Tarek in position to do it instead. Great shot from Tarek, taking the head off of Ethan. The smoke keeps Breezy at the back of the barrels, but how long will he really stand before MiBR put him inside of one?
Oh, well, he's going to be saved thanks to that smoke being down. No, not the second time around. Things heat up for Breezy. Daps is there though, and only good for one. Fugly, all that remains, and he's up in the heavens. Sadly, might not be heaven sent here for NRG, as he just has to try and hold on to this AWP in the bank, as that is all they're going to really have left in the tank in the next round.
Really nice to see MiBR play that slow style. They may get the entries, and it can be very convincing to just go, okay, we have a man advantage, let's just rush this bomb site. We'll deal with that, you know, barrel player when we get to him. But instead, they stop, they wait, don't wait long enough for the smoke to fade before they throw in that second Molotov. But then once that gets extinguished, the third one comes in, which essentially is Breezy's death warrant signed to the gallows with him. As 13 rounds is going to be gracing the scoreboard for MiBR. No chase on this AWP coming in yet, but there is a man up on that A site, so keep your eyes open, because Fugly, just at the nick of time, surviving. Man on your screen, he's been having a great game as well for a lot of crucial rounds here on the CT side, and now on the T side, I mean, even finding entries alongside the likes of Tarek to open up that B bomb site, and we are reaching, wow, the latter stage of this game, Harry. 13-6, NRG calling in another timeout. They are running dry on those, and this is a very, very difficult spot to be in, because you essentially have to give away the 14th round unless you force, and if you do, that screws you over in the long run. And we can already see them starting to buy up. So NRG, I mean, the pressure's on to win this round.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure's monumental at this point, because you haven't just put all your eggs in one basket. You've put all your belongings in with the eggs in this basket, and now if the eggs break, it's all over all your stuff as well. How much of a downside is that, Hugo?
Never want eggs in your basket.
Never want eggs on your belongings.
No. That happened to you, in fact. It was deodorant, but similar.
I don't think that's... I don't know how similar those two things are, but lead the charge, push it in. Lots of aggression from MiBR, and Breezy. He's fully flashed. Daps has retrieved himself a weapon at the very least, but now he's going to go above and beyond, and instead he goes under, buried by Fallen as he gets shut down. Cirque and Ethan left standing at NRG. 2v4. They put it all on the back of winning this round, and now the temptation might be there for these two just to take a little peek on him, but I'm not too sure we're going to see them go much further than this.
Yeah, this buy was very optimistic because it assumes you're going to win it and then be able to keep this game going. But if you lose it, you completely screw your economy. They could have had a full buy when MiBR were up on 14. The only reason they went for this buy is because of the AWP. They wanted to buy around that up that they wouldn't have had if they ecoed. And the chances of winning that just solo or Brown with 4 pistols was so low against a team that's just been playing such clean Counter-Strike today. MiBR looking really, really nice as a unit. We're seeing great double pushes. And it's not always the same players as well, right? Obviously, we do have that duo of Tarek and Stewie, and then we have, Fer and Fallen playing very much together as well. But MiBR just seems so tuned in together, so all on the same page. And I'd love to know how much of that is the addition of Yanko, because obviously it coincides with him joining to this team improving exponentially. Clearly looking very regimented, and 14-6. Ready to close out this game, Harry, unless NRG have some final gas in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're just running on fumes at this point, right? There's really not much left in it.
May have gas in the tank, but I'll tell you what they don't have. It's money in the bank. It's down to just a force buy here on what could be one of the final rounds here for NRG. Still saving that AWP, but that will be one of the very, very few lifelines they have. Cirque, if there was a time you were needed, it is now.
Oh, most definitely. We really do have to see the Bulgarian bulldozer live up to that, but instead he's only going to knock down one. It's Tarek to find him in retort, and Fugly going to get tagged down so low in response as well. Fugly, he's still, he's going to hear the footsteps. Fallen, no, he suspects, and Fallen always suspects. Fugly's been shut down, and that was also the bomb spotted. That's prompted the rotation out from Ethan down toward this B bomb site, but MiBR, look at them go. They're going to try and move fast in response to this. They have themselves the man advantage. They know that NRG aren't feeling comfortable. These rotations have arrived from the NRG squad, and it might have looked like it was full steam ahead, but now they've turned around with wind in their sails. They head back towards this A bomb site. They've changed the destination, and Daps, the man holding close, the man trying to keep NRG in this map, opens up with one. They have him boxed in, and Fallen is going to fall, but Tarek's in with the trade, and now Ethan back against the wall in a pivotal 1v2.
I'd love to see that replay from Fallen's perspective. He just flicked hard off a Daps to the man on the stairs. But you're right, it is just Ethan, and they're both up on long as well. Powerful post plant with a Molotov still to play with. No kit in play on this site either, so actually there was one, sorry, on the body of Daps. Ethan now cutting the time in half with the bomb, but the bomb is already half ticked, and he's not ready for the peek up on long. One frag, the Molotov's not spreading, but Ethan's shooting, and he's finding both kills. Defuse is plentiful as well. There's time for it. NRG still in this game with a huge clutch from Ethan. MiBR looking like maybe they just wanted to close it out that little bit earlier. And over-facing there in the post plant.
Yeah, and actually getting a little bit betrayed because the extra man, the last man alive at long, just getting spotted by Ethan. I think because he was close to the angle, he didn't quite manage to spot him, so I think he believes that he's gotten away with it. But look, Ethan gets the invasion, re-peeks straight back into it, and finds Cold's error. It's a tactical timeout called in for MiBR. They lose one round, and they're just not happy with that. They know that that was a round that really they had no business losing. That should have been them securing map point then.
I mean, it's a case of a round where in that post plant, I think with how well MiBR have been playing, those two peaks, you would assume that one of those hits the shot, right? And one of those players wins the round. And, okay, on paper, maybe that peak wasn't the wisest move to make. They did hear Ethan push up on short, though, so they had somewhat of information of his position and were trying to catch him off guard. But just missed shots, really, more than anything from MiBR. And not what you would expect, considering how well they've been playing this game, but it's not the end of the world, Harry. We still have plenty more money in the bank here for MiBR, so they're going to be just fine. If anything, this could break the cash of NRG and put them on 1,400 against 15 rounds.
Ooh. You don't want to try that again, that's for sure. But there we go, Cirque. And what a scalp to find. It's fallen to fall first for MiBR. He has been the man really leading the charge, and he has been a real force to be reckoned with that AWP. Sadly, Fur's now dotting it, and he's going to go ahead and finally get revenge for his fallen brother. In the form of fallen, Fugly. Lapping around over here toward the toilet. We'll get mollied off the angle for now as they're going to turn his attention over here towards shore. He does have a rotation coming in from the likes of Ethan. Oh. Well, the reinforcements arrived, but the only issue is they've lasted less time than the incumbent forces in the form of Fugly, so he's really been left to his own devices here, and Fur slipped into the backline in the meantime, so it's all gone so wrong for NRG. Just Daps left alive, and he's alone and still getting dethroned. It's going to be MiBR reaching a map point here on the map pick of NRG. 15-7, just one more round. And the Brazilians will be moving 1-0 up in this best-of-3 series.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a huge surprise. I mean, even MiBR predicted themselves to win 2-0. That's what Yanko said earlier. And obviously, you've got to come into this game thinking that. But I never assumed it would be this confident for MiBR. This dominant. This is at 15-7 right now, Harry. NRG, they had a chance to get into the second half. They won the pistol. They converted it. But 3 buy rounds in a row from MiBR have put them to this point with a reset to find their 4th onto 15. NRG pulling in that triple boost that Chad was talking about on the desk. We do have that coming through, but it's a little bit delayed. Waiting for these players to push up into short, maybe taking the attention from the connector, and 2 players spotted, but only one of them spotting. It's Tarek with 2 frags.
I tell you what, Chad was talking about this triple boost. Let's hope that all the talk was worth it, because it's really got to do the impossible right now. And yeah, sadly, if only they were about 3 meters each taller, maybe they could have found something, but they've got to go ahead and start to rotate back toward this A bomb site. MiBR sitting comfortably with a 2-man advantage here. And they know this pressure has been very much alleviated. The ball is in their court. They're in the driver's seat. NRG don't even have a license at this point in time. Ethan now going to try and do what he can with the dig, holding down the cross. Stewie, the first man in, the first man to fall. It's breezy. The Eagle heroics have been a bit of a forte for this man, but not this round. It's only Daps left standing once again. An impossible clutch, a 1v4 required, or else MiBR will be picking up the first map in this best-of-3 series. The map pick of NRG, and in a very dominant fashion as well. Pushing on up, the man, the brains behind the operation for NRG. Can he do anything here?
I mean, surely this is a done deal. They're ready for the double peak. Not even needed. It's Tarek with a 4th frag in the round. And shutting down that map are the Brazilian Americans. That is going